I'm here now with Wayne Hart. So Wayne, what goes into making an inscription?
Well, I start by doing some rough sketches and then move into developing a letter form from that point, which I feel is relevant to the piece as a whole. If it's a commemorative gift or something that isn't necessarily a memorial, then I'll also start thinking about the shape of the piece of stone or the piece of wood, whichever material it's going to be. And once I've established a letter form I'm happy with and the client's happy with, I'll then order the material. And then when that comes through, I will draw the design full scale, either directly onto the material or draw it on paper and transfer it with carbon paper, and then carve it by hand using a hammer and chisel, just very old techniques.
And how did you get into letter carving?
I came through a graphic design background, so I did a national diploma in graphic design at college, and it was actually a tutor there who really inspired me into typography. And so that led me to study the world-renowned course at the University of Reading in typography, and it was there that I met a lettercarver who was one of our visiting lecturers, and she inspired me into it. So from there I went and did 3 weeks work experience with Richard Kindersley, a really well-known lettercarver based in London. And from there I had my apprenticeship with Pip Hall in Cumbria for 3 years, where I was able to work on a lot of public art projects and memorials and all manner of work, really, a really nice variety.
So what range of projects do you work on?
Well, aside from memorials and commemorative gifts, I also work on signage, public art projects and anything that can have lettering applied to it, really, and imagery. And so for example, at present I have a job for Westminster Abbey. I'm designing the C.S. Lewis Memorial to go in Poets' Corner, and I've also have a public art project for the Maison de la Culture in Amiens, where I'm creating a 2-metre high piece of lettering in Corten steel. So, yes.
And what materials do you work with?
I work with all manner of materials, really. The nature of my work is that it's handmade, so stone and wood tend to be the main materials. However, because I come from a graphic design background, I'm able to digitize my work. So, for example, this piece in France is going to be laser cut. So I'm able to create the digital files with still the craftsmanship of the hand-drawn lettering. So it still has the life there that typography doesn't.
So tell me, what is the advantage of having an inscription cut by hand rather than a machine?
Well, machines use typefaces, and coming from a typography degree, I can tell you that typefaces were not designed to be sandblasted in stone. They were designed to be read at a very small size, and generally typefaces are created to be quite weighty at small sizes to have a nice contrast of ink against the page. So when they're increased to a certain size, they kind of look a bit bulky and not the most attractive of things. But with lettering, you have something that's very bespoke, very personal to the client. And I think in this day and age, because we're so used to machine-made objects, people are moving back towards that craft side, and it's just getting it known and getting people to, know it exists, really. Because not everyone does know that. They just go to a monumental mason and, it has its place, as does letter carving.
So how long does it take to create a memorial or any other piece of work?
Again, it's very dependent on the material. So, for example, a headstone can take a few months, depending on how long it takes to quarry the material. Some materials are rarer than others. If it's possible to get hold of a smaller piece in time, then obviously it can just be maybe a month. So it varies depending from project to project.
Well, thank you, Wayne. And for more information about Wayne and to see some examples of his work, please visit the website.